So I have permission to record. Thank you. I'm good to go. David, you're experienced asset manager. Carlos, your attorney. I'm going to shut up. You guys talk.
Yeah, the very first program is SBLC buy and sell program. The second program is SBLC existing instrument going into trade. And we cannot mix them together. So in the case of a person who is bringing his own SBLC, he will not qualify for the SBLC buy-sell program. He will only qualify for the SBLC going into trade program.
Okay. Amen.
That's the difference. So I will be very pleased to send you the details for the existing SBLC going into trade program. The program is very clearly defined. It's a very mature program, and I believe you'll have benefits through this program. Why? Because his $50 million will grow exponentially, and he will be able to collect proceeds every month. Carlos, yeah, whoever is the signatory. Yes.
So can you send us just information on that program and nothing else? Just so there's
happy to do that. Yeah, you already have the SBLC buy-sell program. You have all the details on that. I will send you the new program, which is the existing SBLC going into trade.
Okay, good. And then can you give us some details around it? What's the process for us to come on board?
Process is you take the existing SBLC.
Yeah.
It's monetized at the LTV. Typical LTV is 65 to 75%, depending on the issuing banking institution. And that amount of capital goes into trade, and the trade program is clearly defined in the instrument. In the document that I'm about to send you.
Okay. And while we're waiting for you to send me the document, the trade program, how long does it take to turn it into cash?
I need to look it up. You mean monetization or the actual trade, or both?
Both. Just because my client, in this case, is looking for me to give him cash every month so he can build his hotel.
On a monthly basis.
I understand. So if all the right things come together, the monetization will be finished within 7 to 10 banking days. And beyond that, you go into trade, and 2 weeks later, you get the first proceeds.
And did you say that the SBLC is traded at 65% of face value?
65 to 75% of face value, depending on the bank. We are assuming that the bank is very, very good. If the bank is not so good, like an African bank, for example, then the LTV will never be at 65%. It'll be 20%. Why? Because there's risk involved, a great deal of risk involved.
Okay, and so if you take a $50 million SBLC and you trade, let's say it's 70%, that's $35 million, and you get your first proceeds at 7 to 10 banking days, what percentage would you be getting in 7 to 10 banking days?
Well, typically it's a 10x return on a $100 million value. But in this case, the value will be a lot less, and I will articulate to you the actual proceed percentage. It will be less than 100% per month.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. The reason we need to make sure that we have enough on a monthly basis, and it sounds like we're more than enough.
I'll give you all the parameters so you can base your estimates on the parameters that are forthcoming. Should not be a problem.
And then, do you know what's the minimum on the SBLC that the client we need to?
I cannot remember, but let me send you the program so you have it at your fingertips. It's very easy to read, very easy to understand.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then, so that's awesome. Thank you. And then something that I think would be helpful would be what's the languaging of the SBLC. So when we tell the capital contributor to issue the SBLC, we can also say, here's the languaging.
Yeah, absolutely. The language, yeah, I can give you quite a few examples. No problem.
And also, David, what do you require on the certification that the SBLC has been issued and somebody's holding it? So let's say that the SBLC is issued to Taimour's company and they send it to me as his counsel, and I have do you need like verification? I got a hard copy, or how does that work?
So there is typically a SWIFT issued.
Okay.
And that SWIFT is your confirmation of the fact that, yes, indeed, you have the SBLC granted to you. And then the bank, pardon me, and then the banking institution will give you the electronic code, because all these instruments are electronic nowadays.
Okay.
And that custodial receipt will be lodged with it can be lodged with a financial institution, can be lodged with a law firm, can be lodged with a asset manager. It all depends on who you have, what you have.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. All right, that's good.
Yeah. So that's basically where we are.
Okay, well, I think, Taimour, do you have any more questions? I think we just have to wait to get a copy of the trade program details.
And then when does the program start? You wouldn't know. David, would you know when the program starts?
The program is ongoing, so it doesn't end.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So Carlos and I would have a conversation with, please set up that call. We then set up a call with capital contributor. Carlos talk to a capital contributor. They issue the same amount of credit. David, I'm assuming it has to be a European bank. It cannot be like a US bank.
U.S. banks, they simply don't issue letters of credit.
Letters of credit. Okay, good. So a tier A bank that will issue a same amount of credit. Here's the languaging that we need. Mr. Capital Contributor, call us when you are going to issue it. The languaging we need, I'm going to get that from you, David. And then hopefully 2 weeks from now, we should have the instrument in our hand with the languaging. Then Carlos and I fill up the CIS form with the proof of funds. We give it to you. Carlos and I on the call, we may have some questions. I'll certainly have my FBI guy on the call to ask them questions, assuming everything checks out. We then sign a contract with them and transfer the SBLC to them to go into a trade. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah, so you will get a lot of information, and that information will be used for the purpose of getting your existing SBLC into trade.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So I'm looking at the document on a $100 million SBLC monetized instrument. You'll get 100% per month.
And we don't have a $100 million instrument. We have.
If you have 50 million, then it's 70% per month. If you have less than 50 million, 49 million, it's 25% per month.
So sorry, give me 1 second. So if this,
I'll send it to you.
Okay. So if there's 50 million, we get 75%. 75% of that, right?
I'll send it to you. You'll have it in front of you.
Awesome.
Give me 1 second.
So one of the questions people consistently ask me is, Taimour, how can lineofcredit.ai help me out? And the answer is in 3 ways. Number one, if you have never done a private placement program, if you're not successful at raising capital, if you don't know how to monetize a standby letter of credit, you never have had an institution issue a standby letter of credit, I highly recommend booking us for a one-on-one custom training for you and your organization. If you're a broker and you've never helped a client, kind of cross the line, or if you're a, end user customer like a business executive, and you've never participated in an SBLC monetization program or a private placement program, or you simply want to raise capital and you're not good with it, I highly recommend leveraging over 15 years of experience we have in raising capital, in knowing how to monetize standby letters of credit or issuing standby letters of credit, or simply participating in private placement programs. As part of a thank you in your one-on-one custom training, I give you a free copy of my book, Hypergrowth, How to Connect to Customers in New Ways, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. The second way that we can help your organization move forward in some of your business objectives is simply provide you a line of credit or loan that financial institutions or brokers simply can't provide. We've got a couple of very unique programs, Rent a Rich Uncle or the Money Multiplier program, where we provide our assets or purchase courtesy deposits from financial institutions around the world to give you a customized tailored program that works for you and your business needs. And I think we have just a service that really nobody can match. In many cases, financial institutions look at our ratings, look at our credibility, our experience, and feel comfortable lending us millions of dollars that sometimes they don't feel comfortable giving to a small startup or a small business owner or even a gold mine owner. And so in that case, we take on the capital and resell it to the client and give them access to a large sums of capital that financial, traditional institutions or other brokers simply couldn't provide. And then a third way that we can help you out is if you're looking to liquidate some of your assets, like if you've got a standby letter of credit that you want to monetize, we can help take you into a private placement program, or we can help liquidate that standby letter of credit, or simply if you're looking for SBLC to be issued to you, we work with Tier A institutions to have that issued for you. My name is Taimour Zaman, and I look forward to the opportunity of working with you.